The grand final is here in the Ninja A-League for 2026. Melbourne City hosts the Wellington Phoenix at Amy Park. It is the first time a New Zealand team has made it to the grand final in the Australian National Women's Competition. And Melbourne City, they will know all too well that grand finals are hard to make and harder to win. In spite of their success in the home and away season, they have not lifted the Champions Trophy since 2020, and they have had to wait 2 years to get back to the decider, having fallen at this very venue to Sydney FC 2 years ago in 2024. The Isuzu Ute Tunnel Cam shows us Rebecca Stott, who has just won the Claire Polkinghorne Medal as one of the standout players of the season, but individual accolades, they go by the wayside when team success is front of mind. And what a moment this is for the Wellington Phoenix. They are trying to become just the second team in the 18 years history of this competition to win the wooden spoon and then later become champions. Carrying the trophy out onto the pitch, Wellington Phoenix's inaugural captain Lily Alfeld, and Melbourne City have bestowed upon 10-year member Katie Pinkard the honour of carrying out the A-League Women's Trophy to the plinth here. And for Lily Alfeld, who put in so much hard work when the Phoenix entered the Ninja A-League, they were out of home at Wollongong due to COVID, and then she got to enjoy playing that first season back in New Zealand. Still heavily involved in football, and injuries have seen her playing days take a sidestep, but she would be proud as punch that the club that she so proudly captained is now here on this stage, one win away from becoming champions. A huge travelling contingent along with Australian-based Wellington fans. They have been loud, they have been colourful, and they have been one of the stories of the season. The expectations so high, and you'd have to say just getting here to this decider has gone a long way to meeting them. For Melbourne City, it is quite simple. They start every season wanting to win every game, wanting to win every trophy. But 4 seasons in a row of finals heartbreak do weigh over them today. And even though some of the numbers suggest they are a hot favourite, including 8 wins from 8 head-to-head in all competition against Wellington, they would be acutely aware of just how hard-fought and close it was as they collected a 1-0 and 2-1 win in the 2 previous meetings between the sides this season. So here are the teams out onto the pitch, both teams wearing their home colours as well. Fantastic to see. The black and yellow stripes of the Phoenix and the city blue of Melbourne City. The nerves will be jangling, and the players now can take a deep breath and just take in the moment. Michael Matriciani, the coach, watching from the sideline. Missed out on the grand final with a semi-final defeat last season. Michaela Woods in the middle of your picture there. And Bev Priestman as well with her assistant coach Amy Shepherd. They are hoping to see success. We are going to have the Welcome to Country followed by the national anthems of New Zealand and Australia.
Please welcome to the field Colin Hunter Jr. to conduct a special Welcome to Country.
Good afternoon and welcome to Amy Park for the 2026 A-League Women's Grand Final. It is my honour and privilege to be here today. My name is Colin Hunter IV. I would like to start off by acknowledging that this afternoon we are on Wurundjeri country, home of my ancestors and also home to everybody here today. I wish to pay my respects to both elders past, present and emerging, elders from all nations, especially all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community members joining us here today. Wurundjeri is a part of the Kulin Nation and of the Wurrung language group. Wurundjeri country extends from the inner city of Melbourne across to the Great Dividing Range, west to the Werribee River, south to the Mordialloc Creek and east to Mount Baw. A big thank you to everybody who has helped make this event possible this evening. Womenjeka, welcome and enjoy the game.
For those who are able, please be upstanding for the national anthem of New Zealand to be performed by Jaden Randall. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Australia to be performed by Maria Maroulis.
Two incredibly well-sung national anthems, and so powerful New Zealand there. The Englishwoman Bev Priestman singing the anthem on the sideline. Of course, her wife from New Zealand, a key to her joining the Wellington Phoenix. There's Michael Matriciani. The last time he was in a grand final, he mentioned it during the week. He was coaching Campbelltown City in the South Australian Men's NPL, and he is relishing the opportunity now to coach this Melbourne City women's team in a decider. Bev Priestman, the last time she was at Amy Park, it was coaching Canada, an infamous 4-0 defeat to the Matildas. Very fondly remembered by those wearing green and gold, but Bev Priestman will be hoping for a very different scoreline and outcome today. It's a special moment for the refereeing crew, which will be led by Isabella Mawson. Second from the right there, 25 years old, the Sydney sider. She is referee in the A-League Women's Grand Final for the first time. In the VAR booth, which is being used in the Ninja A-League for the very first time, Casey Rybelt and Lara Lee are standing by. So assistant referees Lucy Hungerford and Claire Green, fourth official Caitlin Williams and fifth official Paola Orlandi, an all-female refereeing crew for the Ninja A-League decider. So the final pep talk And the words of wisdom, Melissa Barbieri so often takes the talk for Melbourne City at this point, but it's Holly McNamara, the Matilda here, who is getting the final say. So let's take a look at how the teams line up. Melbourne City's starting 11 completely unchanged. 5 members of the 2024 runners-up, and in McNamara, Rossbacken and McMahon, 3 players who missed that grand final with injury all get to play in a grand final for the first time today. One change on the bench. Danella Buttress comes in for Ayana Ayayagi. Wellington Phoenix, by contrast, make no changes whatsoever from the team that was able to overturn a 2-1 first leg deficit and defeat the Brisbane Roar 2-0 after extra time last week. Brooke Nunn was a member of the Wellington Phoenix this season, but last season she was right here at Amy Park winning the championship with the Central Coast Mariners. So Wellington break out of their huddle. They won wooden spoons to start their A-League experience, but they have grown immensely this season, climbing from 9th to the finals, and they were in the race for the premiership right up until the penultimate week of the season. The Isuzu Mini D-Max is delivering the ball out to the middle. The last vital piece makes its way out onto the pitch. So as the Mini D-Max tails off, we are in the countdown to kick off here. Wellington to attack the right of your screens to start the grand final. And the Ninja A-League Grand Final for 2026 is underway. Melbourne City hosting Wellington Phoenix at Amy Park. City aiming for a 5th championship, and Wellington trying to break through for the very first time. As the ball deflects down to Victoria S, and standing in goal for Wellington, I welcome former Matilda and 2-time A-League Women's Champion Grace Gill. A little bit of a concern for Holly McNamara, just a little winded after that deflection. Grace, as you join me in the commentary box.
Well, thanks, Teo. Great to see you, and it's always such an honour to be here and share in what's been nothing short of a special season, season 18 of the A-League, and 2 teams really deservingly so fitting that they're here in the final, 1 and 2 in the regular season, and here they are on the big day.
2 close meetings during the home and away, not for some time. Both of them came before the Asian Cup break, which was a real divider in the season. Some teams never really got going after coming back. Others, like the Brisbane Roar, who the Phoenix knocked out last week, were able to find their very best in the closing rounds of the campaign. As we see Grace Jale here on the ball, and Wellington trying to venture forward, but Briley Henry intercepts for Melbourne City. Michaela Woods is going to come in and steal the ball away. Woods surveys the options, and a low pass which is intercepted by Carly Rossbacken. And now Holly McNamara to Briley Henry. Starting on the right of midfield, Henry. Waiting for the right pass to appear. Letitia McKenna was surrounded by opponents and finds safety in Rebecca Stott at the centre of defence. Now Leah Davidson, and McNamara breaking back towards the ball as Davidson's pass runs long.
You expect both of these teams to start on the front foot. City, we know that they'll settle into a possession-based style of football. Wellington, a little bit more forward thinking.
Emma Pynenberg with a promising pass, and the 17-year-old Pia Vlock not quite able to make ground. Melena Mires comes out to collect. Pynenberg arrived during the season from Feyenoord. She was playing in the Netherlands, a capped New Zealand international, as are many in this Wellington team. Bev Priestman will be one of the soundtracks of the game from her technical area, always full of instruction and gesticulation. As Melena Mires clears to right back, Carly Rossbacken trying to volley on. Mania Elliott with a header. Woods collides with Davidson, but the pass goes straight to Brooke Nunn. And now Ellie Walker out in front of Nunn, followed by Danielle Turner. 2 English players dueling on the right side of Wellington's midfield, and a misplaced pass means Taylor Otto collects the ball.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fascinating battle as it opens up, and the game wears on. Brooke Nunn, the Englishwoman, up against Danielle Turner, her countrywoman as well. 2 really experienced players. Danielle Turner on the ball here. Well, she's played every single minute so far for City. really solidified her spot at the back there.
Mirez being given the hurry up by Pia Vlock and is able to clear to Rebecca Stott. You can see the Wellington press is really turning up the heat in these opening minutes while the energy is high. That back pass, though, has been seized upon by Henry. Now McNamara, 18 Keane, first touch for her. And the return pass is a good one. Briley Henry is one-on-one against the keeper. Around this, and she goes. With she lagged, the referee waves away, appeals for a penalty kick. Just a throw in. The Melbourne City bench are up in arms.
Huge moment, this. And it's on the counter as well. A little giveaway by Wellington after what was a good press, a well-timed run by Briley Henry. Vic Essen gets the slightest of touches on player and on the ball. The referee not having any of the arguments. It's a great moment.
Not even 5 minutes into the grand final, are we about to see VAR intervene? The message has gone up on the big screen that VAR is checking for a possible foul, so the fans are aware. They're not seeing replays, though.
And this is part of VAR's involvement in the final. These teams never having exposure to the technology. And moments like this where play normally just goes on, we'll have another look at it now. And this is what the VAR room have had a close enough look at.
Well, what a massive moment early in the game. VAR has said play on, no foul, and the on-field call is upheld. Grace, you said that Vic Essen got a touch on the ball. Gee, it's a freeze-frame job to see the touch.
Oh, that's why VAR are there.
So the game remains scoreless, and what a let-off for Wellington after they were sprung by an excellent through ball. And let's go back to Briley Henry in the one-on-one, the decision to try and round the keeper.
Yeah, and these are the moments we talk about in football matches, big games, big moments, and it's ultimately going to come down to which team is able to capitalise in those moments. Just seconds earlier, it was...
Oh, that player there who's gone into a big bump, Pia Vlock, who was pressing Melina Mirez. She's bounced back up here, seemingly okay. Kiwi on Kiwi, Rebecca Stott. We saw her singing the New Zealand national anthem as she lined up, of course, for Melbourne City because she's a more than 100 cap football fan, and here she is on the ball now.
Big knock for Pia Vlock, who, much to the relief, I'm sure, of the Wellington team, was quick to return to her feet. But just as I was saying, prior to that Briley Henry moment, it was a really well-worked press by Wellington. They just got a little bit stung on the counter. Briley Henry causing troubles through the run, through the line.
Vlock doesn't turn 18 until September. She's had an amazing breakout season. Here's the last challenge, uncompromising Ellie Walker. And 18 Keane, for those of you that didn't watch the semi-final second leg last week, she did roll an ankle in the first half and played into the second half before being subbed off. But she would be, Grace, I imagine, still a little tender given the severity of the rolled ankle last week. So we watch a diagonal ball here. Find Briley Henry. Mania Elliott on her case. Back to Carly Rossbacken. Davidson. A slow-moving pass. Henry makes it work. And Woods is in to challenge Rossbacken.
Yeah, spot on about 18 Keane. The ankle injury in last week's game. I thought for all money that was her game done. Quite incredibly, she played on and continued to be one of Melbourne City's best. She looks to be moving fairly freely this afternoon, so far, 18 Keane, but we'll keep a close eye on it.
Walker with the half volley away. Rossbacken slides it down the line. Henry. The cut across. McKenna arriving. And Pynenberg was with her side to side. Deflected behind for the first corner of the game.
There was actually a little touch in the end from Holly McNamara that disrupted things for Letitia McKenna as she came through. It's a great run from Briley Henry. Good speed, good impetus. Just that tiny little touch from McNamara almost put McKenna off her stride. Pynenberg, an important touch as well.
Wellington might have the height advantage, but Taylor Otto has been a set-piece threat at times during her Melbourne City career. Watch out for the number 5. Looking to get on the end of this corner. It sails high. Marissa Vandermeer with the initial header away. And then Mackenzie Barry with a volley to the safety of the line. And the Phoenix central defence were organised there. Barry playing her 94th Ninja A-League game today. Was in the first ever 11 that walked out onto Wynn Stadium in Wollongong in 2021. She has lived every step of the journey with this team. Block side to side against McMahon. No foul. The referee waves play on. McKenna, a bending left-footed cross which lands on the roof of the net.
Well, that's a great look at two of the youngest products in either of these teams. Both Vlock, the right shoulder, into the left of McMahon. McMahon's looking up, asking the question. It's a great challenge. Good physical contest. But just since that last breakaway, the Briley Henry challenge and the contact from Vic Essen, it has been City just camping in their attacking half.
Essen in two minds here between a short goal kick or going for distance, and she decides that long is the answer. Aiming for Jale over her head. McMahon. McMahon clears long and out, and it gives us a chance to go down to the sideline. Good afternoon to Narlene Masto.
Good afternoon, Teo. Well, what a start it's been already in this grand final. And I chatted to Bev Priestman briefly before this match, and she mentioned how, yeah, she's gutted that the senior players who picked up season-ending injuries aren't here on the pitch, but that doesn't mean they aren't in attendance. They're here to cheer on the girls, and one of which is Alyssa Wynnum, who's been here since the club's inception. Now, Bev said she's been heavily involved behind the scenes. She put together the pre-match montage to give the girls the perfect pump-up they need ahead of this one. Let's see if they can create more history today.
Thank you, Narlene. Yes, Alyssa Wynnum alongside Tessel Middag and Savitra Samba Bandari, the Nepal international, all suffering ACL injuries during the course of the season. Here's Pynenberg. An early ball, Stott read it best. Now Davidson, Carly Ross-Backen. Henry. Briley Henry, Leah Davidson. Even though the run to receive the pass was good, it was shut down by Marissa Vandermeer. Clever defending. And Melbourne City happy to reset. Milena Mires roaming out of her penalty area, as is customary in the City style. The goalkeeper always heavily involved in build-up play. Here's Taylor Otto. Just given the hurry-up by Lucia Leon here. Turner, cool as you like. Bev Priestman signalling from the sideline for players to compress the game. And here is Mires standing in defensive midfield, just waiting for the Phoenix to make a move.
Yeah, interesting having a look at the defensive shape from Wellington. 4-3-3, they're sitting in a defensive block. That's fairly malleable as they go forward and change to more of an attacking outlet.
Henry with a promising touch. Essen caught in two minds, and the cutback is cleared away. That was vital from Marissa Vandermeer because Holly McNamara was advancing unmarked.
Another huge moment and great defensive move from Vandermeer, who showed enough discipline. That's a wonderful ball from Mires, but showed enough discipline just to hold her movement, didn't mark the space, waited for the cross. Crucial intervention.
Well, the Mires link up to Briley Henry on the right side has worked to perfection twice now. Phoenix with Benaya Elliott playing as left back to start this game. And now a corner to deal with here. Letitia McKenna. Left-footed in swinger. The initial header only as far as McNamara. A bending cross. McMahon over the shoulder. And Taylor Otto unable to run it down. But the crowd enjoying the thrills and spills.
Well, the audacity, I've got to say, of Shelby McMahon. Not quite a bicycle, but the idea was there. Just turned 18 on Wednesday, a few days ago, but what a year the teenager is having for Melbourne City.
You see Melbourne City dominating possession so far in the game. McMahon and Vlock standing side by side in midfield as the Phoenix move through the right. Brooke Nunn against Aideen Keane, who wins the ball back for City. Keane trying to evade Nunn. A grab of the shirt goes unsanctioned. Play continues. Pynenberg. And now Lucia Leon. Vandermeer. Scott Manaia Elliott on the left. Elliott strikes on the right and lifts it out.
Oh, that one had Milena Meares scrambling. Ordinarily looks for the cross, but got in a nice little half space on the edge of the 18-yard box. Manaia Elliott.
Well, I think Michael Matriciani right to ask about why there wasn't a foul on 18 King. She did very well to win the ball high against Brooke Nunn and then didn't get reward when Nunn was trying to grab her.
Yeah, fair question being asked by the City bench, and referee this afternoon, Isabella Mawson, just happy to let play go on. Brooke Nunn maybe unfortunate on that occasion to get away with the shirt tug.
King trying for the slide rule pass. Barry, a full-blooded slide challenge to win the ball away, and then Keenan late on Jale. Melbourne City win the ball back. It's amicable, good sportsmanship between Keen and Jale. Just a low five, and then both of them hobble back into position. Keen perhaps looking the prop here. We mentioned the ankle issue from last week. She'll be desperate to run it off here. That's happening over on the left. In the meantime, City probing the right. Elliott, Pynenberg, caught in possession. McNamara can turn and face. The Wellington defence set behind the ball. Briley Henry. McKenna tried for the first time pass. Knocked away by Vandermeer. And now Brooke Nunn. A bustling run out to the right. Daniel Turner gets a deflection on the pass, and Michaela Woods isolated at centre forward for now.
Yeah, Nunn just needing a bit of support. Streamed away with possession, looking up, the yellow shirts in sight to find the relief pass.
Great pass from Ross back in, sets Briley Henry away. Henry, the cross through the penalty area. Nunn, only as far as Leah Davidson! Wide it goes. And Leah Davidson, whose search for an A-League goal has stretched now back 6 years, misses the target here.
Well, it's something that Wellington have to address, and they have to address pretty quickly, and that's the success that Briley Henry is having down the right-hand side for Melbourne City. A few times now, tearing into space, finding a beautiful cutback. The clearance was not dealt with by Wellington Phoenix, and it drops perfectly. They're the moments that, as a midfielder, your eyes just light up. Rare is the chance on top of the 18-yard box, and that looked good off the boot.
Davidson, 108th game today, just the one A-League goal. She did score in the Champions League group stage against Stallion Laguna of the Philippines. We've seen her score for the Matildas, but that first Melbourne City goal has been hard to find. Her only A-League goal came when she was playing for her local Brisbane Roar at the beginning of her career. She's been an assist machine this season, including one game where she played through Holly McNamara 3 times. Hat-trick of goals, hat-trick of assists.
Davidson, undoubtedly a really key part of the City midfield. That's ultimately why she was rewarded with the Matildas call-up, one of several in this squad. Capped Matildas players and likewise capped Ferns for the Phoenix.
Woods catches Otto in possession. Otto trying to recover. And Michaela Woods wants to take the throw in quickly. Brooke Nunn. Pynenberg in space. Now McNamara chasing, but Pynenberg sends the ball left. Vandermeer. Manaia Elliott looks up at Ross Backen. Can't find a burst of acceleration. Good body work from Ross Backen. Here's Piavlock. And now Pynenberg to Brooke Nunn. Nunn can measure across, hangs it up, and Milena Meares with a confident catch.
Well, Nunn was begging for the ball, wanted it quickly, got it. Her first touch maybe left a little underneath her frame of body, and this not quite dragging the delivery away from Meares above. Woods just arriving.
Wellington fans behind the goal at the left of your screens, providing a great soundtrack at the moment. It's the net that Holly McNamara is trying to advance upon here, and Mackenzie Barry keeps the ball away from her. Barry thinks there was a deflection. The referee says corner.
No arguments from Holly McNamara. Was on the blind side of Isabella Mawson. perhaps went unsighted if there was a touch.
So we've seen a couple of Letitia McKenna corners on her left foot. Now we get to see her preferred foot, which is her right side. Recently capped Matilda, showing her skill. Can she put it on the mark here? McKenna's corner, high, beyond the back post. Taylor Otto the target, and headed away by Walker. Pinenberg just kicks to clear. Turner had stayed back. McNamara outpointed by the much taller Ellie Walker. Walker, who joined from Portuguese club Braga, went to college in Portland, and a Washington native. What a great signing, one of many for the Phoenix this season, the 26-year-old American. McMahon working with Turner. Turner's cross, glanced away by Vandermeer. Rebecca Stott trying to weave through. Jale wins the ball back. Woods knows there's not much on ahead of the ball, so wants to wait for support to advance. And, well, it's going to work out delightfully here for Brooke Nunn. A kind deflection, and Nunn is going to capitalise here. Brooke Nunn through the right. Lucia Leon drives it high.
Well, she's been dangerous all season, Brooke Nunn. Gets herself into really good positions. Maybe a little bit of good fortune behind this touch here that came straight back into her stride. But here she's got options. Go straight ahead herself. Find the pass out to Lucia Leon, who had timed it really well. Enough pressure arriving from the retreating Aideen Keane, and Leon can't keep her shot down.
City able to play through the press this time. Keane. Caught from the blind side by Brooke Nunn, but City will keep the ball. McKenna drills a pass out to Briley Henry on the right. Henry heard the shout from Rossbacken on the overlap, and McNamara with a flick across the face.
Well, that's a beautiful chance. Really well worked by City. And really, for me, what releases that moment is a positive first touch in the middle from Letitia McKenna. She pings a pass out wide, finds Henry, the overlapping Rossbacken, and the ball in is delightful. Searching for Holly McNamara, who gets the slightest of touches, but not enough.
Big day for both players. Rossbacken has been part of teams that have won the premiership, both at Canberra and also Melbourne City, but today's her first grand final. Of course, capped Matilda, who was a key part of the 2019 World Cup squad. Made her international debut in the Miracle of Montpellier. So we wait here for a decision over who's got the throw-in.
Brooke Nunn having a meeting with the referee, Isabella Lawson, suggesting that there was a foul that wasn't called. Passionate player. Of course, championship winner at Central Coast, and she's carried excellent form into this season with Wellington.
Stott sweeps a pass to Henry, who has to backtrack here. Rossbacken. So if we aren't finishing 90 minutes today, we're about a quarter of the way through the game. But of course, if we are level after 90, it'll be extra time. And if we're level still, just like last season, it'll be off to penalties. Both teams committed to playing attacking football at the moment. And you can hear the cheers of the Phoenix fans as Mania Elliott is able to win a one-on-one and turn it into a throw-in.
She's done really well there, Mania Elliott, and I think really needing to get closer to Briley Henry, as she did on that occasion. A few times earlier, we've seen the success of Henry's crosses.
Leon trying to pick the pocket of Stott, who plays it over to Turner. Otto. McKenna, a quick head check before receiving the pass. Keane, the return ball. And McKenna jinks inside. All about the delivery. And read best in the air by Van der Meer. Now Jale hooking the ball away. Lucia Leon holding off Taylor Otto, but McKenna made it a 2-on-1. And the numbers win out for Melbourne City. McKenna showed a lot of the ball to Brooke Nunn, and Nunn wins it away. Now an early pass, Mires herring after it, and that will be an easy collect for the Spanish goalkeeper. Their second season in Australia, Melena Mires, 8 clean sheets this season. Rossbacken from the right. And Elliott is starting to get wise to how City are trying to thread through Briley Henry down that flank. Wins the intercept, and this might start something promising here. Brooke Nunn loses out to 18 Keane. Could it be a counter on counter? Keane. Intercepted by Walker. Well, there are so many speedy attacking weapons, you really have your heart in your mouth whenever one team wins the ball back with open field in front of them.
Well, the opening 25 minutes have been really entertaining. They've gone by quickly. City have probably shaded the better of the chances just, but Wellington have had some good moments going forward.
McMahon dips in and wins the ball away. And again, you see the trust there in Melena Mires, a naturally left-footed goalkeeper, but also quite comfortable on her right side. Pynenberg has been very busy in midfield for the Phoenix, keeping things ticking over. Out to the left, Mania Elliott. Pynenberg again. Walker. Phoenix have committed numbers forward here. Walker's pass. And an awkward bounce that Taylor Otto has deflected behind for a corner.
Yeah, not all convincing there by Taylor Otto. Wellington with really good numbers committed forward. Walker's been busy. Otto first to get the touch, but steers it out for a Wellington corner.
And the big danger here is the number 7, Grace Jale, by far the number 1 player winning aerial duels in the league. There she is, at the back post, scored in the first leg of the semi-final against the Brisbane Roar. Melbourne City will have done their homework. Can Mania Elliott find her? Huge pack of players congregated in the 6-yard box. Elliott to the near post, and too skinny, out for a goal kick.
Well, disappointing delivery in the end by Mania Elliott, but she'll know as much. Phoenix have been the best in the league by a long way when it comes to converting from corners, so much to improve on from that delivery.
You can't let them go to waste. Big game, pressure game. McKenna. Elliott now called upon to defend. Jale helping out. McNamara to Davidson. Rossbacken in space. McNamara legs by Van der Meer. And the referee's put the whistle away. It's out for a throw-in.
Yeah, there's a lot that been played this afternoon, and both ways, I'd say. Fouls either way that Mosson isn't too interested in, which, to be fair, is leading to a fairly free-flowing game.
McMahon not able to keep possession inside the penalty area, but McKenna will retrieve here. King continues her duel with Brooke Nunn and bursts into space here. Keane to McNamara. Well, had Davidson square there, did McNamara, but didn't want to send the ball across. Henry. Now Davidson will take possession. Cuts it back for McNamara. McMahon, a sidestep, free kick in shooting range. And the evasiveness of Shelby McMahon there draws in a foul in a very dangerous position.
Yeah, great area of the field for Melbourne City. And there'd been a few. This is great work by Aideen Keane, just so explosive off that first and second step. But from this passage of play on, the next couple of passes, Wellington just affording Melbourne City far too much time and space on the ball. And ultimately, Shelby McMahon is not at all afraid of taking things on herself.
Letitia McKenna scored last time these teams met at Porirua Park. And this is well within striking distance. There's a reason she stands solo over the free kick here. She scored a stunning long-range free kick against the Central Coast Mariners in the semi-finals last season. The 23-year-old, her 140th Ninja A-League game today. You see the Phoenix wall there. Vic Essen waits on the line. And the anticipation builds for Letitia McKenna. McKenna goes direct into the crossbar. And the Raps were certainly justified. She's the width of the post away from opening the scoring.
It's a great hit. And she knows it as well, not too far off whatsoever. Over the wall, dipping under. Denied just by the crossbar. Well, fine margins in finals football. And there's been a couple of very big moments for Melbourne City.
Well, she's the only player out there who has scored multiple goals in finals. Today's her 13th final. She's found the back of the net 3 times. Playing in those finals for both Perth Glory and also Melbourne City. And when you debut as a 15-year-old, as McKenna did, 140 games at age 23, we've seen her break into the Matildas, and you feel like she's going to have plenty more to do. We're only half an hour into this grand final.
Oh, she's been so sound, Letitia McKenna, not just through the reward for a Matildas call-up, but year on year, she's just gotten stronger and stronger in the midfield. City this season, she's been exceptional.
But Briley Henry won't be able to chase down her pass here. Rossbacken hoping for McNamara. Davidson, second time ball. McNamara, legged by Barry. Bounces back up here. McNamara challenging Jale. And a goal kick is the decision. The last little deflection out off the shins of Holly McNamara.
That's seriously good defending by Grace Jale. First of all, Mac Barry does her best to slow things down. These are two very athletic players, Jale, McNamara. Both pulling on the shirt and just enough body contact. It's not going to be easy out there for Holly McNamara this afternoon.
Walker receives the short pass. Lucia Leon ducked under the ball, almost ran unkindly for Vlock. Nunn. Brooke Nunn to Pia Vlock. Here's Marissa Vandermeer. Misplaced pass, Carly Rossbacken. Is Holly Mack going to break for her? Rossbacken's running on a diagonal in the opposite direction to where Holly Mack was going. So Aideen Keane will look up here and see all yellow on the left side of the pitch. And yeah, her body language reflects that right there. Where were my options, she says.
She may have also been a little frustrated with the attention, the close attention from Brooke Nunn.
Ellie Walker is the Phoenix's long throw specialist. She can hurl it quite a distance. And she's outfoxed everyone here with a short throw into Michaela Woods. Leon and Nunn hugging the line. Brooke Nunn running at Danielle Turner. The ball comes to a standstill. The cut across, Vlock over the bar. And deflected, a corner kick.
Really good chance and really good work by Brooke Nunn. Just added a bit of complexion to that last passage of play. Looks to go fast, to go slow. She came to a complete standstill before picking out that final pass. Look at Pia Vlock just in the middle of the field, waiting her run. The pressure from Stott, enough. She's just leaning back slightly, the 17-year-old. But that's a great moment.
And perhaps high on confidence, she's taken over corner duty here. Piavlock drives the corner. Jale up for the header. Woods blocked on the turn. Jale follows up, and it goes wide. Didn't catch a City player on the way through.
Well, that would be special for Grace Jale in what is a good moment on this corner. Jale the target, first to it. Woods playing a nuisance in the middle of the park, just in front of Mires, who isn't too happy with that attention.
Mires roosts the ball high and wide. Keane brings it down, but gives possession straight back to Wellington. Piavlock stumbling. And McKenna takes over. Jale nicks in. Briley Henry, an early ball. McNamara will chase. You see Vandermeer trying to backtrack and cut off the angles, and she does. So McNamara back to Rostbacken. And as that ball sails out for a goal kick, it's a chance to go down to Nalin Masto, who's been eavesdropping on the two coaches.
I sure have, Teo. Well, I can say that Michael Matriciani from Melbourne City's bench is looking calm and composed so far. He is encouraging the likes of Holly and Briley to keep taking those shots, even from distance, just to keep the Knicks guessing. Now, we've just seen the tide turn ever so slightly in Wellington Phoenix's favour, and that's potentially for the fact that Bev Priestman all game has been urging her side to put more pressure on the ball, not just sit back when City are building. She's called on Lucia Leon to move out a bit wider and just reminded Mackenzie Barry to be mindful of the gap that her and Marissa Vandermeer have been leaving at times, particularly in the early stages.
Awesome stuff inside there from Nalin Masto down on the sidelines. Grace, are you feeling that momentum shift ever so slightly to the Phoenix?
Yeah, for sure. And that tactical adjustment that Nalin just ran us through is spot on, because the gap closed at the back that in the opening few minutes was really allowing Briley Henry a lot of time and space. Has just been plugged. Just these slight tactical adjustments, managing the strength of Melbourne City, of which there are many all across the park.
Stott decides to take on Woods. Woods wins the ball for the Phoenix. Lucia Leon holding it up here, trying to hold off Taylor Otto. And Otto has really helped out her fellow centre-back there in Stott by winning possession. Now Keane showed too much of the ball to Walker. Pynenberg deflects it on. McMahon and Block, those two remain entangled. And McKenna out to Rostbacken. McNamara. And McKenna to Rostbacken. McNamara nicks it through a gap. Briley Henry stopped in her tracks by Marissa Vandermeer. Rostbacken swings it across. McNamara with a glancing header! The flag goes up and celebrations are cut short. Hands on head for the Melbourne City fans, and Michael Matriciani remains unmoved. Phoenix are cheering. Holly McNamara, no doubt, hopes that a replay will come to City's aid.
Well, there's certainly been moments building for Melbourne City, again, from that right-hand side, where most of the chances have been building. The offside flag was quick to be raised, and let's have another look at it here on the far side. VAR will have a look at this one. There it is, Briley Henry in the offside position, and that's a great call.
Claire Green, assistant referee on the outer side. Excellent call. And that's how these referees end up in the grand finals. You've got to make the big decisions.
There's a look at the lines. The rulers are out. But still, it is that right-hand side causing a few problems for Wellington's defence.
Turner's pass, intercepted by Nunn. Brooke Nunn veers left, went chasing after a touch, bowled over Davidson, and now the whistle goes belatedly. Leah Davidson and Brooke Nunn are talking it out.
There's a bit of late contact, undoubtedly there. Nunn into the legs of Davidson. Not too many complaints.
I mean, not pictured the ball, crucially. Just chasing your toucher way that players can often overcommit to the tackle.
Yeah, and Amy Park, it's a quick surface. It's really slippery out there. You occasionally see players just lose their footing. Can be a bit greasy under touch.
McNamara played a pass around the corner, but Elliott awake to the danger. Back to Essen. Essen's clearance. Vlock to Nunn. Caught from the blind side by Keane, but it works out just fine. Lucia Leon trying to step through midfield traffic, and McKenna is able to win the ball away.
Unsurprisingly, it's a battlefield in the midfield. I'm really enjoying the contest between Pia Vlock and Shelby McMahon. Those two keep coming to head as well. Emma Pynenberg, who I think has had her best couple of games in the last few weeks with Wellington Phoenix.
Aiden Keane has beaten 3 players here to steal a march. Keane on a tight angle, saved away by Essen. Aiden Keane couldn't quite get the shape on the shot. So much hard work to break into the box, but fired it straight at Vic Essen there.
Well, moment after moment, and will City turn to rue these as the game wears on? It's great athleticism once more by Aideen Keane. She tumbles her way through, but how about this defensive effort? The recovery from Mackenzie Barry, who is one of the best 1v1 defenders in the league, does just enough. Vic Essen has the angle covered.
Still a thrilling moment for Keane. Otto, Turner, McNamara, clever run. Can she link up with a teammate? Has to go wide. Keane back to McNamara. McNamara is going to shoot here. Brilliant! Holly McNamara with a moment of inspiration that puts Melbourne City in front in the grand final. And it is a strike worthy of the biggest stage from Holly McNamara.
And that one will not be denied. It's a moment of individual brilliance from the Matilda, from Holly McNamara. A meeting of the minds for Wellington Phoenix and a moment of celebration for the home team. On the Harvey Norman replay, it's an intelligent run by Holly McNamara. She turns and swivels and receives the ball back. Great scanning. You can see her looking around and just offered too much space. Ellie Walker on that occasion is a little too far away, and Vic Essen is just half a step off her line and can't make the recovery. It's a delightful finish. One for the highlight reel, no doubt. Melbourne City, they've been knocking at the door.
Has the golden boot, scored the golden goal. It's only the first half, but that is a marvellous strike, measured to the centimetre. And after being denied by the offside flag only minutes earlier, Holly McNamara, with her 13th goal of the season and 39th career, makes it 1-0 to Melbourne City. And this stat bears repeating. This is the 18th Ninja A-League Grand Final. There has only ever been one team trail in a game and come from behind to win, and that was Sydney FC against Brisbane Roar all the way back in 2009. So it's been a history-making season for the Phoenix, and they have a little bit of history stacked against them now.
I'll give big games on the stage for big players. Holly McNamara hasn't scored in weeks now. Gets her name back on the scoreboard in the most spectacular of fashions.
She only had one in her last 7 coming into this game. She might have 2 in 2 minutes. McNamara has broken the defensive line and makes it 2! It's a Holly Mac masterclass in the grand final! Melbourne City have separated themselves at the end of the first half, and it's their superstar, Holly McNamara, providing both the goals.
We'll catch her if you can, because on the Harvey Norman replay, it's well defended by Shelby McMahon. The vision, and you just see Holly McNamara turn and run. If there are any questions of offside, they're denied by that replay. But this is precision, this is power, and this is 2 goals in as many minutes by the league's golden boot. And you can see why. Into the side netting. Gives her side. Well, doubles the lead. And right before half-time, there is some work to do here for the Wellington Phoenix.
40 goals in 58 Ninja A-League games. Well clear as the top scorer of the season, home and away and finals combined. And of course, McNamara out of contract at the end of this season. She signed a one-year extension to come back, unfinished business in Melbourne. And if this is farewell to the Ninja A-League for now, then what a farewell it could prove to be. And the Wellington Phoenix find themselves shell-shocked here, 2 goals down. It had been a close game with a couple of sliding doors moments, and now Melbourne City have 2 goals in pocket.
You mentioned Holly McNamara's scoring rate, 40 goals in 58 games. It's really incredible. The profit on what she can return as a player is standout. And in big moments like these, they are some special finishes.
Still some minutes to play with at the end of the first half. Can the Phoenix halve the deficit? They have not lost by multiple goals in any of their defeats this season. It's always been the odd goal. They have always kept it close. Bev Priestman is going to have to deliver an almighty halftime team talk. But it will be made that much less desperate if they can grab 1 goal back before the break. Elliott. As the ball loops on, Stott only as far as Jale. Pynenberg to Brooke Nunn. She's going to have a dip. And a drifting lob attempt. Out for a goal kick.
Unfortunately for Wellington Phoenix, it's not the happiest of readings either when you look at the statistics. Melbourne City have not lost when scoring first across the course of the season.
We've ticked into 3 additional minutes at the end of the first half. So still a little chunk of time to make a difference. Walker. Jale. Now Vandermeer. Menard Elliott. Lucia Leon, return pass. Elliott challenging, cleared away by Rossbacken. Michaela Woods. Lucia Leon fashions a header, but it's an up and under.
It's a great move from Michaela Woods, just looking to get herself involved in the game some more. And the chances are there, the half chances are there for Wellington. If they can find a goal back, they keep themselves well and truly alive in this game.
No pretensions of a short goal kick this time. Milena Mires. Rose Jale wins in the air. Rossbacken sliced on. Vandermeer. Jale went to ground awkwardly. Here's Briley Henry. Holly McNamara, a lone hand up top. She's going to blitz through the right. But it was all Phoenix in the middle. Letitia McKenna arriving just a little too late as Mackenzie Barry cleared away. Jale taking the game on. Back to Lucia Leon. Into the last 30 seconds of the allocated 3 minutes. Brooke Nunn's making ground on the right here. Walker is going to travel and now send Nunn. 18 Keane guarding her here. Brooke Nunn, well, trying to front up to Keane, and Keane has outpointed her there. Defending very well. Back to Turner. Barry, as the ball bounces on. Lucia Leon. Goal or nothing here for the Phoenix. They've got to go for it with only seconds to go. Walker pushes it into the box, and that might be that for the first half. Stoppage time expires. Mackenzie Barry with a speculator. It's on target, but that catch from Milena Mires ends the first half. And it is a first half that has belonged to Holly McNamara. And the rising star of the Matildas is the difference in the teams. A good save here from Mires. Mackenzie Barry with one last speculator. And Holly McNamara still having a chat with referee Isabella Mawson. She may not have got the foul calls that she wanted, but she has got the 2 goals that separate the teams. At halftime in the grand final, it's Melbourne City 2 leading Wellington Phoenix 0.
Well, it is the Holly Mac Show here at Amy Park. We're off to a short break. I'll be back joined by Leah Blaney and Elise Kellon-Knight for the Hungry Jacks halftime show on the other side.
The APL is committed to providing a safe and enjoyable environment for everyone, and we ask you to respect the players and match officials by remaining in the safety bowl. Say hello to the Wellington slushy, the easy, convenient way to make frozen drinks at home. No ice makes no watered down drinks, no blending in smooth, perfect texture every time. Just pour, slush, and enjoy. 5 one-touch programs for any drinking. Enjoy perfect results, transform almost anything with the Wellington slushy. Get ready to cheer, just like the Lucy was the A-Leagues, they're in your team too. Whether you're planning a holiday or buying a new home, that can provide the assistance you need to get your free thinking goals. Liberty, loads of free thinkers. Ladies and gentlemen, fans in the stands, what a match so far, but now in ready for a half-time, like no other. While our incredible grand finalists catch their breath at the half-time break, we are turning the spotlight to the next generation of football greatness. Get set for the sharp ninja little legends, 80 of the boldest, brightest young players from across Melbourne are lighting up the Amy Park in a series of mini-games. We've got kids from all over the Amy Park today, and don't let their size fool you. These legends are here to impress. At home, sharp and ninja products are the ultimate power couple. Blending, cleaning, cooking and crushing in the kitchen and beyond. But today it's a different story because on this duel at half-time, they are rivals in the ultimate half-time face-off. We've got Team Ninja bringing the flavour, split into the slushy, the creamy, the blast, and the cocky teammates ready to whip up some magic with their sweet moves. And on the other side, we make a sharp squad, 4 teams planning to clean up the competition. Flex Queens, Power, Tex, Stan, Striker, and the Never Change 5. You do not want to miss with our Ninja half-time heroes.
Well, that is the trophy that is up for grabs, the championship trophy here. It is grand final day at Amy Park. Michael Machichani and Bev Priestman, two of the sharpest coaching minds in the Ninja A-League. And that guy there that's got a stunning mullet and a mo. Welcome to the Hungry Jacks halftime show, and a very warm welcome back to Leah Blaney and Elise Callan-Knight. We're seeing inside the Melbourne City sheds, we're seeing the Matilda of the moment, Holly McNamara, getting a little bit of treatment there to the Carvies. And she deserves it because she scored the opening 2 goals for Melbourne City.
Look, Tara, big players come up in key moments, and Holly McNamara tonight has delivered right before half-time.
How quickly things can change in football. 2 minutes, boom, she got it done. And you could see, though, from where she shot from, they couldn't break down the defence. Taking a look at the Harvey Norman highlights, Elise. Shot from outside, great vision, and in it goes.
Yeah, I mean, most of the highlights of this half will be about City, but essentially this is the first goal coming up here. And Maxine Essen a little bit off her line and just been able to delicately curl it around her in a place she can't reach. But you would question whether Essen should have reacted a little bit earlier and seen this shot coming in. But she's had a little glance here and seen that space, and world-class player, they can find this space.
It was just a gorgeous goal, and they have been knocking on the door, haven't they, Leah?
Oh, they've definitely been threatening. There's some little half-chance moments. We can see on screen now the timing of that run by Holly Mack. 18 Keens getting in the box. City are hungry to score tonight.
They are really well and truly in the mood. And this is such a tricky position, isn't it? When you look at what Bev Priestman has to do when it comes to a comeback with your coach's hat on.
Oh, look, there's a few things. There's some substitutions that can be made. I think we could bring Leon off and bring somebody a little bit more dynamic into that central midfielder role. Bev has to go for the game right now.
She absolutely does. Melbourne City, of course, continually knocking on the door, but as well, Wellington Phoenix, they fashioned a couple of chances, but they've struggled.
But definitely, they haven't had the impact up top that I'd hope to see out of this game. And essentially, all of the highlights have been City. I mean, vast majority have had 6 clinical chances here, and you can see a poor clearance by Nunn has landed at Davidson's feet here, and that kicked the game off. It really set the tone, and it was chance after chance. And just towards the end of the half, we saw Wellington maybe get a little bit of a look, but they just haven't been able to have the impact. I would question if the strikers should start playing a little bit wider. I think how narrow they are, Leon and Woods at the moment, they're not creating chances. They're not challenging Stott. They're not challenging Otto. So we need to look at that at half-time.
This just denied by the woodwork there. So you're seeing a host of chances from Melbourne City. They could be in the sheds right now, Leah. 2, 3, 4 goals to the good against the Wellington Phoenix. They have huffed and puffed via block. I was Pia when she took the corner. I thought we questioned it. Why aren't you in the mixer? Of course, but what did they have to do up top? What about Grace Jarley?
Yeah, look, KK touched on it. I think stretching the City backline is key here, and just being a little bit quicker in that transition moment. You can see the statistics on screen right now in terms of possession. You expect that from Melbourne City, so Wellington Phoenix have to make the most of these counter-attacking moments.
They absolutely do. They are the stats they heavily favour, as you can see, Melbourne City. That was the Hungry Jacks halftime show. We are off to a short break, but do not forget so much football action heading your way across Network 10 and Paramount Plus, because in the A-League men's competition, who will meet Auckland FC in the grand final? Will it be Sydney FC? Will it be the Newcastle Jets? We'll find out later tonight.
In it comes from Kisbay, back post, and they've got it. It's Popovic.
Adams up low until it's Eli. He does have ice in his veins, this young man.
So it spills for Wood, and he has that first goal against Melbourne victory.
They've got options on both sides. Here's Dobson. Shoots at Redmayne. The Premiers have the lead.
Melbourne we are making a legend out of lemonade on the Ninja Hall of frozen frame this half-time. I've got one question for you. Do you want to go home with a free Ninja slushie? The answer is yes, and stay on your frosty toes, because we'll be scanning the stands for one lucky person to strike the coldest pose. If you're chosen, you've got one job. Freeze that pose like a pro. So we've got 3 ninja slushies to give away here at half-time. Let's run you through it. So I'm a fan here at Amy Park. I'm having a great time. Arms in the air. It lands on me. I'm going to strike the coldest pose. And then we're going to hold on for 3 seconds. Still holding the pose. And I am a winner. I've just taken over the brand new ninja slushie all for free. And now it is over to you, Amy Park. Get up and about. Show us your experience. It's time to scan the stands. 3 ninja slushies taken away for half-time. Keep your eyes peeled to the screen. Right, we are swinging here. I think we've found someone. Scanning this out. Right, hold up the pose. In 1, freeze. Okay, we might need to keep going. Keep that pose. You want to take over into sushi. Alright, let's go to once again. Scanning nice and right. Who wants the ninja slushie? We are still scanning. Hold that pose. 2, 1. Hold that pose. Yes, Melbourne. We have another winner. Congratulations. Alright, we've got 1 more ninja slushie to give away. Scanning the scans. Popping around on the ninja slushie. Get your coldest poses out. Keep watching the camera. Scanning the scans here at Amy Park. We can underlead up. Hold that pose in 1 second. Hold pose and right with a photo here at Ninja Slushie Hall of Fame. We have a winner. Congratulations. Ninja Slushie is coming your way.
There's only so much of it to go around. See what you're having a bit of. Someone else is having a shot. Yeah, you never know which of you sleep. You're going to get when the lucky country isn't so lucky.
When you invest with eToro, you start seeing investors.
It's grand final night here at Amy Park. Melbourne City is sitting in the driver's seat. It's 2-0, but it could have been more. This moment here, Briley Henry and Victoria Essen. How did you see it, Leah Blaney?
Look, it's a great attempt at rounding the keeper by Briley. She just misfoots herself and actually falls over her own feet there. But in terms of the attempt and the effort, all credit to Briley Henry. Is a constant threat.
This moment here from Holly McNamara, it was deemed offside. The rulers were out Elise Kell on night, and Holly Mack has been the goal scorer tonight. This is what's heading away across Network 10 and Paramount Plus. It is a football feast. Who will make the grand final? It's between the Newcastle Jets and Sydney FC. That heading away at 7 p.m. The AFC Champions League 2 final, Women's ACL semi-final. Melbourne City are on the plane tomorrow morning. They are on their way to Korea to play Tokyo Verde, and then the international friendlies for the Matildas on Saturday the 6th of June. Mark that in your diary. It's the Matildas v Mexico. We have a huge second half heading your way. What can the Wellington Phoenix muster? But City are sitting in the driver's seat. Kickoff is a minute away.
Welcome back to Amy Park. The Wellington Phoenix 2-0 down in the grand final at halftime, have subbed on their American Mackenzie Anthony. Just the one goal this season. It was back on the 15th of January against the Central Coast. She's come on for Lucia Leon. The Isuzu Mini D-Max is delivering the ball back to the referee Isabella Mawson, but both teams are in their huddles. We saw Bev Priestman giving one last G up in the rooms, and now Ellie Walker continues the message out there in the huddle. Can the Phoenix mount a comeback? Holly McNamara, her 2 goals, the difference in the game. She's all smiles for now. And Bev Priestman, the most important halftime team talk of the season. Just the one sub, still has attacking weapons like Macy Fraser and also Zoe Benson sitting on the bench. And also legs in midfield that could make a difference as the second half goes on. But they've got to put out some Melbourne City spot fires as well as find 2 goals of their own. Back underway in the 2026 Ninja A-League Grand Final. Melbourne City 2-0 up against the Wellington Phoenix. And Holly McNamara in possession immediately. Through comes Davidson. And Mackenzie Anthony here will take a touch out of play. Grace Gill, as you rejoin me, what do you make of the halftime sub?
Well, I think Mackenzie Anthony, especially last week against Brisbane Roar, we saw her come on and make an immediate impact. A good amount of energy. Lucia Leon, just a little off the pace in the first half, worked hard in her moments. But we'll have a little look to see if that changes any of the formation of Wellington. It doesn't look to have done so in early glances, but we'll keep a close eye on it.
Letitia McKenna back to Danielle Turner. Aideen Keane. And the long ball here that'll run down to Vic Essen. One matchup we spoke about during the halftime break was Pia Vlock, the 17-year-old starting this grand final, and Shelby McMahon, her ability to curtail her influence. It's a battle to watch as the second half unfolds. Vlock's so important to this Wellington team. That pass from Mania Elliott is going straight to Rebecca Stott. And here is McMahon playing it back to Taylor Otto.
Well, Shelby McMahon in her 3rd season in the A-League. Pia Vlock, her very first. So different levels of experience, such is the whole makeup of both of these squads.
Well, the ball never found a way out. Briley Henry has run it down and across into the gloves of Vic Essen, but proof never to give up on a lost cause there. Elliott to Jale. Leah Davidson comes across, blocks the passing channel. And now Holly McNamara. Happy to send it back to Danielle Turner.
But I've been keeping a close eye on that battle between McMahon and Vlock, and even off the ball, particularly when Wellington have possession. Shelby McMahon is touch tight to Pia Vlock. Every time there's a battle, every time there's a loose ball, McMahon is right on Vlock's first touch, and it's certainly making life difficult for the debutante in Vlock in her first ever season.
Anthony sends the ball to Brooke Nunn. Nunn's low pass intercepted by Turner. Aideen Keane. Only McNamara ahead of the ball. Briley Henry making ground as well. Keane looks across. Great pass. Releases Briley Henry. Henry saved by Essen. And she claws at it to keep it from going over the line from a corner kick. Pynenberg, Davidson, Rossbacken, and now McKenna. And McKenna's going to shoot from distance! The goals just get better and better! Letitia McKenna has Melbourne City in dreamland! This City team have matched the occasion with the quality of their play, and Letitia McKenna with a great grand final goal.
Well, it's brilliant. It is just brilliant off the boot of Letitia McKenna. And on the Harvey Norman replay, it's Wellington Phoenix who had their pocket picked. Melbourne City on the front foot, McKenna with space and time. And the most perfect angle behind this that we saw, a beautiful goal from Letitia McKenna in what has been an excellent season, undeniably. Well, that is just a world-class strike.
unsavable. Just spectacular from Letitia McKenna. Her 4th goal in finals action, her 1st in a grand final, and her 5th this season and 17th career.
And maybe the first smile from Michael Matriciani we see this evening comes off the back of that McKenna goal. It was her free kick past Melbourne Victory's Courtney Newbon in the first leg of the semi-final, the difference maker. A little buffer this evening with Holly McNamara on a brace, but that was just beautiful to watch.
Vandermeer, Anthony, Pynenberg over the bar. Narlene Masto, what have you been hearing on the sideline and out of the rooms?
Well, Teo spoke to Melissa Barbieri, and she's saying that they are so pleased with the performance so far. And why wouldn't they be when they got players like that scoring absolute bangers? Now, for Wellington Phoenix, CJ Bott told me the standard simply is not good enough. They're not challenging that Melbourne City backline. Not enough pressure on the ball. The likes of Michaela Woods not seeing enough of it for what they are expecting. But in for City, it's really just more of what we're seeing now, and to not get complacent. As we know, Wellington Phoenix, they will never give up on this fight.
Thank you, Narlene, but here's how difficult the task is. In 18 seasons of W League and Ninja A-League play, a team has never come from 3 goals down to win, and there are only 2 instances of a team coming from 3 goals down to draw. It is the highest mountain. Grace Jale here. So often an aerial threat, but she's been entrusted with this free kick. Is there a way back for Wellington? Tangle in the box. And the Wellington fans are hopeful rather than expectant as the ball runs out for a corner.
Set pieces will become important. It is an almighty mountain to climb now for Wellington. 3-goal deficit to claw back. Set pieces could be one path to do that.
Jale, having taken the free kick now, positions herself at the back post, beyond the back post. Pia Vlock to take the corner. A drifter skimming off the head of Henry. Pynenberg, second time ball. And a well-shaped header off the crossbar. Woods! 3-1. Belief for Wellington. And Michaela Woods grabs the ball and runs it back to the middle. There's plenty of time. And now the question is, can Wellington plant the seeds of doubt?
There is life in this team yet. Do not sleep on Wellington Phoenix. The Harvey Norman replay, it's a great re-entry by Pynenberg. And a brilliant header. Meares can only do so much, but who's on the spot? None other than Michaela Woods, who has been exceptional in recent weeks. And maybe just the hope that will buoy this team into plenty minutes of football that remain in this grand final.
Are we waiting not for VAR but for a sub? Macy Fraser comes on for Pia Vlock. Fraser, who was used essentially as a time-wasting sub at the end of last week's semi-final second leg. She came on in the 120th minute. Here she comes on with a role to play. Michaela Woods' 8th of the season has made it 3-1. And Macy Fraser, if you watched pre-game, you would have seen her with the 3rd rated goal in Channel 10's top 10 countdown of goals this season, and it was a brilliant free kick. So the dead ball prowess and her long shot influence has been subbed in here with plenty of time to go. And maybe just a different challenge and concession that Shelby McMahon had got on top of Pia Vlock. Woods headed away by McMahon. Jale. Woods looking for Benaya Elliott. Elliott cuts it across. It's behind for a corner. Wellington fans shouting for a handball, but I think it's hit the midriff of Carly Rossbacken rather than an arm, but the fans are asking.
It's a great play by Wellington. A beautiful ball, delightful from Michaela Woods, splitting the line. just as she skips through, spins out from on that delivery there through Melbourne City's defensive line, and Carly Rossbacken has just had the wind taken out of her. No handball, hands are close enough to her body, but it's building here for Wellington.
So another corner. Macy Fraser straight into the action. Turner's header a good one. McKenna didn't clear emphatically. Nunn drives it back in. And stooping to the ball, Mackenzie Anthony heads it high and wide.
There's an energy and there's a lift. You can feel it. The Wellington fans can feel it. And again, it's another good moment. Brooke Nunn just lining up. Didn't maybe hit it as cleanly as she would have liked. But the substitute in Mackenzie Anthony can't quite redirect the header.
They have a very healthy contingent of both travelling fans, and there are plenty of Wellington fans based in both Melbourne and around Australia. They get great support at their away games. And the Phoenix are attacking towards them in this second half. Can they strike again? Well, they've got a bit of momentum behind them. Pynenberg digs deep in the sprints. Elliott loops across high. It's a teasing ball. Woods is up, and Mires bats it away. And then Turner waits for the ball to bounce kindly. McKenna. McNamara calls for a crossfield pass, but she's too far away. And McKenna stuck in a 1-on-2. Fraser having an influence immediately. Pynenberg now ran into the challenge of Henry. And Stott a cool head in the crisis. Only McNamara ahead of the ball, but that might be enough. And McNamara can't run it down.
Here's a look at this last chance. It's not entirely convincing, I must say, by Milena Mires. Kind of swats at the ball to clear. And there's pressure building. Wellington just finding a few more passages toward goal. City not looking quite as settled. Yeah, I think you're right. Shelby McMahon won out that piece against Pia Vlock. But the changes have been felt immediately for Bev Priestman's side.
Mania Elliott is coming to life a little bit as well. They're going to have to take some risks. Elliott, the left back, but we've seen her in attacking roles throughout her time at the Wellington Phoenix. 8 goals in 62 games and 3 this season, so we know that she can get forward. Mires. And Keane, very tough pass to do anything with. Jale. Marissa Vandermeer. Misses Anthony with the pass. Stott. Jale. Henry to Rostbacken. Barry. Vandermeer. Phoenix don't want to spend too much time passing around the back. They are going to be patient and wait for the right option. Jale's made good ground in midfield here. Anthony tried to sweep the ball on. Stott clears. McNamara runs into Pynenberg but keeps the ball. Chops a pass out to the right. Briley Henry being pursued by Mania Elliott. And Elliott comes up with the ball in the 1-on-1. Anthony. And Jale.
Sense of occasion of a team that has never been here before can feel weighty and maybe just a little ill-prepared in the first half for the might of Melbourne City. But you get the sense Wellington are just clawing their way back into the game.
Vandermeer, the centre-back now, quite advanced. Jale, Melbourne City happy to sit deep. And now they will all move up. Vic Essen, we've rarely seen her venture out of the penalty area, in contrast to her counterpart Mires at the other end. Brooke Nunn. trying to get something going here. Nunn, a low pass. Woods back to goal. Can't quite tee up Pannenberg. Jale, Fraser, back to Grace Jale. The crowd urging her to shoot. It catches a deflection. And that took any sting out of the shot. Not that there was a huge amount to begin with.
A non-preferred left foot, Grace Jale, perfectly capable, but didn't look overly confident in the moment. Nonetheless, just trying to find little gaps in between. Possession in the last 10 minutes, well in the hands of Wellington Phoenix. Grace Jale, well, one of 3 players who were there in season 1. Jale, Mackenzie Barry and Alyssa Wynnum as well.
Diagonal ball releasing Briley Henry here. Henry jags past Elliott, has to concede some ground. Rossbacken. And intercepted by Elliott. Rossbacken first to the ball. Henry lobs it in. And good communication in the end. May not have looked conventional as Essen collapses over the top of Barry, but the catch was made.
Well, experienced and assertive goalkeeping brought Vic Essen off her line.
Well, a bit more space, a few more gaps for the Phoenix to move the ball. We've seen Wellington make a half-time change and then an early change after the resumption. Anthony and Fraser coming on. Are City thinking about any subs, or are they happy with a 2-goal buffer? And Keane couldn't keep the ball in. The flag is up.
Michael Matutrani is certainly not quick to substitute in games unless he's absolutely forced to. He tends to wait till the 65, 70th minute mark or thereabouts, and doesn't make many substitutions either.
Saw another of the Kiwi connections, Devon Jackson there, going through warm-ups along with all the other City players. Vandermeer, Elliott, an aggressive touch and cleared away by Davidson. The urging continues from Bev Priestman. Fraser. Walker. Improvised volley by Rossbacken. Jale follows up over the head of Elliott. And Briley Henry, playing it safe, drives it to the touchline. Here's Pannenberg in space. Whips it in. The fist away from Meirez, and then Jale couldn't hit the volley, sliced it off the laces and out.
Well, we saw the emotion brimming through from Grace Jale during the New Zealand national anthem. This game means so much to these players. And I mentioned before, she was one of 3 who were there in season 1 for the Knicks and such special occasions. And a shout out as well to Alyssa Wynnum, who was one of the day oneers who, of course, unavailable for today given that ACL injury, but what an entertainer she's been in the league, and I'm sure she too would have loved to have been on the field today.
Walker, Brooke Nunn, and Keane backtracking and driving it into the third row. Staying defensively accountable. We saw a youngster loving the fact that he got his first touch of the game. As the ball is in the hands of the long throw specialist, Ellie Walker. Is she going to hurl it? Nope. Decides to concede ground back to Mackenzie Barry. Jale's in space here. Jale whips in the cross. Good header away by Turner. Vandermeer. Pannenberg. Macy Fraser. We saw Lara Wall getting a tactical briefing from Bev Priestman only a moment ago. Nominally a left back, so we're about to see a formation change as the Phoenix chase this game. Could they potentially sacrifice one of, you'd suggest, Vandermeer or Walker, but perhaps the player on the ball here, Marissa Vandermeer, who did start her A-League career with Melbourne City back in 2021. Pass intercepted by McMahon. McNamara. is going to take the game on here, and Walker has to concede that she can't keep up with Holly Mack. She stops and props. High ball here, Briley Henry on the end of it. Henry brings it down! And last-ditch defending from Mania Elliott does enough to put off Briley Henry.
Well, Elliott tearing back to get behind the ball, and she needed to. But how Briley Henry has this much time and space to run in. We know she's fast, but there was plenty of time for the Wellington Phoenix to get their rest defence shape, bodies in behind the ball.
Well, and that is Mania Elliott's final act of the game. She leaves. Lara Wall, the 2-cap New Zealand international, replaces 9-cap Mania Elliott. So like for like, Grace, what do you make of the change?
Well, fresh legs, and perhaps, as you alluded to, we'll see Lara Wall in more of an advanced position, attacking outlet on the left-hand side. The Wellington defence have had to get through a wealth of work up against McNamara Henry, who's been really lively tonight as well. 18 Keane.
Here's Anthony, the little back-heeled flick, couldn't find Pinenberg. McNamara, Mackenzie Barry steps out to win the ball.
Something we've seen McNamara do as well. When she receives the ball back to goal, she has this time and space to turn and face forward. And she'll either then look to go on a run or to play in one of her teammates.
In possession, Lara Wall is effectively playing as a left forward here, an out-and-out winger. And that is maybe not the pass she was hoping to introduce herself with. Anthony's got to work to keep it in. Phoenix will stay in possession. Jale. Pinenberg. Now Mackenzie Barry in space. She's never scored an A-League goal, Barry. Into the box, met by the volley of Anthony, and Rebecca Stott in the right place. Oh, was that a handball by Vandermeer? The referee saw nothing untoward. You heard loud and clear the voice of Michael Matriciani appealing for it, but play continues as Lara Wall plays it back to Vandermeer. Woods. Wall, Vandermeer. Vandermeer plays the cross. Defensive header, a good one from Turner. And McKenna, well, shanks the pass, only as far as Wall. Bruckner. It's all happening down at Phoenix's attacking end. Can they find the finishing touch? Jale. Right into the traffic, and it's blocked away again. Jale hangs it up for grabs. Anthony couldn't get the header on target.
Well, again, a great impact from Anthony. The half-time substitute, there or thereabouts, getting on the end of everything that's put into the 18-yard box. That's a good ball from Grace Jale. Melina Mares glued to her line. And when Wellington are on the ball, City are sitting camped back in their own defensive half. At one point, I looked down 7 City players in the back line.
Well, that probably tells us why Mania Elliott had to make way. She looks spent, if not injured. She watches her teammates continue to chase this 2-goal deficit. Woods starting to drop deeper and deeper into midfield. Michaela Woods made it tough for Macy Fraser. Keane into the clutches of Walker. Keane stays down. Walker. Woods knocks it back. Trying to turn her marker here. Michaela Woods lets fly.
Well, she's strong on the ball. Really good use of the body, Michaela Woods, and she's getting more and more involved. Aiden Keane goes down on that heavy challenge with Walker, and it was that right ankle that really hurt her last week. She looks fairly unperturbed today. Up until that moment, Woods, her shot always rising.
Seemingly no activity on the City sideline. 18 Keane is going to try and hobble and get back up to full speed again. The 24-year-old at her 5th club. There's Danella Buttress, the 19-year-old on the bench among the other subs. Still waiting to get the summons from the sideline to come on. There's Jale here. Referee just whistling play to a standstill, and it's going to be a drop ball after everything's been passed okay with Jale, who does have a history of concussions, so referee more than entitled to stop play and check if there's been a head knock. And there's now a bit of disputing over the drop ball and who gets possession, and it is Wellington. And it's now back live at the feet of Mackenzie Barry. "20 minutes of regulation to go. Pinenberg, Fraser, first time ball to Anthony. Brooke Nunn is on out wide. Anthony will use her now. Walker caught in possession by Keane, right back into the action. 18 Keane trying to explode away. Brooke Nunn backtracking. It's a great battle between the two. Keane keeps the ball. Now in comes Mackenzie Barry for a nibble. McKenna. Davidson. Ross back in. Davidson won't be able to run that down.
Sometimes moments that go unnoticed are the defensive efforts, but Brooke Nunn retreating, chasing back 18 Keane, who we know is rapid, putting in the hard yards and did enough just to slow 18 Keane down. Waited for a bit more in the way of Wellington reinforcements to get behind the ball. 18 Keane gave the referee an absolute spray after that contact.
So Ellie Walker has talked her way into the referee's book here. First yellow card of the game. I'm not sure what the bone of contention is here. The game came to a lengthy stop over that goal kick, and now we're back underway. Jale uses her strength. Through a gap. Anthony trying to outfox Ross back in. Jale, no time wasted over the throw-in. Woods hunting the ball here. Managed to put off Stott to an extent. As the ball runs down towards the byline, it will have enough on it to find its way out for a goal kick. Laura Hughes, a defensive midfielder, has broken away from the other players, warming up perhaps to come and get a final briefing. Melbourne City mull over their first sub. You see the shot count in the second half, but a lot of them have been high, a lot wide. And Holly McNamara here on the end of 18 Keane's header. Henry in the middle. McNamara dispossessed by Barry.
And again, it's that 1v1 defending Mackenzie Barry. She's had a job on her hands tonight up against McNamara.
McNamara turning, is going to lift the cross, and Essen comes down with the ball. Briley Henry was challenging, but Essen with quite the height advantage plus the reach. Jale with a brisk run. Anthony, can she chase this down at the line? Meets it first time. Headed away by Otto. And now Nunn. Pinenberg. Melbourne City defence set behind the ball. Nunn trying to lose 18 Keane. It's been the case all game when she's been in possession. Vandermeer. Anthony Wall. Lara Wall puts in a right-footed cross on her non-preferred side. And Milena Mires makes the catch.
With a little over 15 minutes to play, there's still plenty of opportunity in the game. There was a passage there for a while. Wellington felt like they were in the driver's seat, but that's just started to turn back in City's favour.
Keane. McKenna, and now McMahon. Henry with Ross Backett on the overlap, wants to steer it back into the middle though, and that might open the door. Oh, Pynenberg. Just a little apprehensive there as she took possession and only really volunteered the ball back to City. Mires. Walker's going to read this best in the air. Through with a forceful header. Otto is called off by the goalkeeper. Laura Hughes is now standing next to the fourth official, so fresh legs in midfield, not far away.
It's Hughes who came on last game for McKenna. Just a straight swap in midfield. Fatiguing legs, and of course we have to remember Melbourne City for the next 24 hours is a pretty busy one.
An aerial back and forth. McKenna with a pass blocked by Vandermeer, who now clears. Anthony. Ross Backen guarding her. And it's going to run on here. Woods and McMahon. Good strength from Woods. Macy Fraser there in support. Woods wanted to go herself. Stott comes out. And she's caught Woods here. It's going to be a wide free kick for the Phoenix.
Yet again, great industry by Michaela Woods. Had Fraser inside as an option. But this shapes up as potentially a really good free kick in a nice area. Opportunity to get numbers forward, and in this final 15 minutes or thereabouts, it's all about risk v reward for Wellington Phoenix.
Macy Fraser, is she too far out for a direct shot on goal? There is a line of Wellington players ready to follow in here. At the very front of that line is Brooke Nunn. You heard the shout for Ross Backen to mark her closely. Fraser is going to go direct. And it catches the woodwork, and the woodwork only on its way out. Mires was underneath it, but did not put a glove on the ball.
That's what Macy Fraser is capable of. In those moments, set pieces, has an eye for goal. Just ricocheting off the crossbar. And again, moments separating results.
Oh, frustration for Macy Fraser. She'll be hoping for another chance. And you called it to perfection, Grace. Laura Hughes does come on for Letitia McKenna. And the scorer of Melbourne City's third goal, Holly McNamara, pretty stiff. She may not have the goal of the day because Letitia McKenna's strike was something special. And it is the reason for a 2-goal buffer between these teams.
Letitia McKenna had a look at Holly McNamara's effort and said, hold my Gatorade, I'm going to have a go myself. And didn't she just? Those two have put on an absolute masterclass today in finishing.
So Melbourne City's first sub goes through. Vandermeer against McNamara. Pynenberg. New energy in the midfield now with the arrival of Hughes. Anthony trying to volley on. Davidson. Fraser comes in and picks the pocket. Nunn can't quite take the ball. And shoulder to shoulder with Turner, and does enough to affect the clearance there. Brooke Nunn not giving up. And so Phoenix have an attacking half throw in. Brooke Nunn now with the ball at feet. Clips it over to the right corner. Anthony bustling, trying to extract the ball. Otto and McMahon combine to clear it away. And now Turner, a left footer, wheels around and clears. And Mackenzie Barry can only concede a throw in. Bev Priestman still trying to find the next answer. Giving instructions here to Ellie Walker. Walker's run over to within earshot of Priestman there to get the message.
Just a little over 10 minutes to get the message and to get the message right. Ellie Walker, the only player in this Knicks side to have played every single minute.
And Essen will come out and collect here. So ticking down to the final 10 minutes of regulation. Phoenix have had more possession and more shots in the second half, but only one goal to show for it after they fell 3-0 behind. Here's Walker. She's stepping into midfield. Was that one of the instructions from the sideline a moment ago? Anthony, deflected cross and a corner kick.
Unsurprisingly, we see the likes of an Ellie Walker not just getting up for set pieces, but pushing forward, and in these last 10 minutes or whatever remains of stoppage, you've got to chase it.
I don't think the Phoenix knew who their corner taker was there, but Macy Fraser has now taken the responsibility and sprinted over to the ball. Referee is on the goal line, just giving a warning. The message is clear. I think Davidson, the main recipient. So Fraser on delivery. Outswinging corner, and Walker committed to the ball but couldn't keep the header down.
Well, on target, the delivery was good, the target was good. The header just couldn't quite be redirected down. And now it's a matter of management for this Melbourne City team. Inside the last 10 minutes, 2-goal buffer, but there still feels this edge of nervousness about the result. If Wellington can pinch one back, suddenly the complexion shifts.
Keane draws a free kick here. Turner to take. Strikes it down to the left corner as Melbourne City see it. Keane. Turner. And Essen commits. Able to bat the ball away. Holly McNamara was flying through. Pynenberg draws a throw in. Pynenberg caught in possession by Briley Henry. Henry veering left, and the shot went left as well.
She's had a really busy game tonight, Briley Henry. Every time she gets on the ball, looks fleet of foot, looks to create that. Just lacking a little bit of quality with the final effort.
Barry finds Woods. Through comes Otto. Hughes. Back pass from Henry, down to Mires. And the crowd trying to do their bit, but Mires able to at least put it into the attacking half before putting it out. Alexia Apostolakis, one cap Matilda waiting on the bench. It's been kept out of the squad, or kept out of the starting 11 by Carly Rossbacken at this business end of the season. Appeared in 21 games though, most of them starts. Hughes, the only sub City have used so far. Fraser harassing, trying to win the ball, but too much, commits a foul.
These are the fine margins. You want to have industry, energy, not give your opposition number any moment on the ball, but not so much so that it leads to a little scrap, a free kick, because at the moment City will just be wearing away at every possible second.
Aerial battle, Henry nods it on, Vandermeer, Jale sinks the slipper, only Woods up top. Henry, Davidson, and that's well worked by City. Hughes. Rossbacken. These her final moments before being subbed out. Vandermeer, Anthony, Jale and Pynenberg. The pass is bending away from Brooke Nunn. And 18 Keane has received the ball in a pocket of space. Keane, can she work through the gears here? 18 Keane keeps accelerating. Keane on a tight angle, wanted to cut it back to McNamara. Instead, she has a corner.
Oh, what a season she's had, 18 Keane. Relentless in her attack. You think she's physically down and out. Up she goes again. Just does not stop working for Melbourne City. She's such a powerhouse, and in full flight she is tough to stop.
The Paramount Plus Player Index, Holly McNamara. Well, 2 goals only gets you a narrow lead at the top of the index. Of course, that was the determining factor in Rebecca Stott winning the Claire Polkinghorne medal this season, announced before kick-off today. Here's McNamara, in-swinging corner, side net. And now we will see this substitution go through. And it is Alexia Apostolakis coming on. And Carly Rossbacken will, assuming Melbourne City close this out, have pretty happy memories of the first Ninja A-League Grand Final that she's been able to play in.
Well, the exact same substitutions we saw last week from Michael Matriciani. It's Apostolakis on for Rossbacken. And again, just a little freshen up at the back. We've seen for large parts of this half, City just consolidating at the back 5 in their back line now.
Hughes seized on a tight pass, plays it to McNamara. She's a lone hand in the penalty area. Now support gets forward, but Phoenix defenders have got back in numbers. Hughes, McNamara again. And Laura Hughes concedes a goal kick. Barry, space in midfield for Jale. She's got to hurry though. Davidson closed her down quickly. Pynenberg. A bit of an aimless pass that Jale has to retrieve. City sitting very deep. Macy Fraser. Can she hurt them from distance? Fraser with a deflection! And Walker was the closest player as it bounces out for a corner.
Fraser looked to take matters into her own hand there. Space just opening up in front of her. There's the little deflection which made it a bit tricky for Mires and skips past the far post. Mires, who copped a bit of contact on the way through as well.
No calling for the trainer though for Milena Mires. Just an exhale and now a corner to defend. Can the Phoenix set up a grandstand finish? Macy Fraser. Can she put it on a teammate's head in a massive pack of players? To the back post it goes. Mires got up and did enough. And Henry chasing the ball with Vandermeer. Pannenberg misses Jale. It's taken a massive deflection after the attempted clearance from McMahon. And that will tick the game into the last minute of the 90.
And again, just moments. A match made up of key moments. City so far making the most of theirs. Delivery into the far post. Wasn't a bad one at all.
Now we'll do it next one.
Well, the New Zealand connection set to continue. Devon Jackson now waiting in the wings, but she's not coming on just yet. Jale. Lara Wall. Jale over to Pannenberg. Brooke Nunn popping up in the middle of the pitch. And the ball deflected away for a throw-in. Anthony, a heavy touch, chasing the ball. Pannenberg, now Jale, blocked away by McMahon. Right place, right time. And Melbourne City are 3 minutes away from ending their championship drought. Can the Phoenix at least make it nervous? Grab back one of these 2 goals that they trail by. Pannenberg from the near post, and Taylor Otto just roosts the ball out near the halfway line. And now Devon Jackson will come on. There won't be a hat-trick for Holly McNamara, but her 2 goals were game breakers in the first half, and listen to the ovation she'll get.
Well, we'll absolutely enjoy Holly McNamara in the A-League. And we hope it's not the last we'll see of her, but if it is, what a performance to go out on. 2 very special goals. Let's have a look at this one. Individual brilliance, great vision.
Both of them late in the first half. And an exchange of goals in the early minutes of the second half hasn't been added to. None. Barry, first time ball. Anthony gets on the end of it. But as has been the case for so many of these half chances, they just won't go on target.
It's an impact, though, Anthony has definitely made since coming on. Half chances, little looks, gets herself into the right position, but against a team like City, that's not going to be enough. It's got to be sure, it's got to be certain.
Down to the last minute. Jale wins the header. McMahon. Great strength against Fraser, but the ball falls kindly for Woods. Not enough on the pass to find its way to Wall. And as it deflects out for a throw, City can slow it to a walk. Straight sets in 2022. Payne in the elimination final on penalties in 2023. Beaten by Sydney in the grand final in 2024. And Izzy Gomez's extra time heartbreaker in 2025. They have fallen in the finals hurdle in 4 consecutive seasons, but they are seconds away from clutching it out here. A goal now might only be cosmetic repair to the score sheet. Wall lifts it into the box. Walker up for the header, and Melena Mires holds on to the save as stoppage time expires. And now it is entirely on the generosity of the referee.
Great header by Walker.
And the years of pain are wiped away because Melbourne City are A-League Women's champions once again. 5 years of waiting, 4 years of finals heartbreak, but they matter not in moments like this. An outpouring of celebration as as Melbourne City are the Ninja A-League champions of 2026.
Well, redemption for Melbourne City. Celebration after being the best team in the league and the regular season. They back it up. And they back it up in style. The finishers were world class. Wellington Phoenix, they can hold their heads high because what a season, what a history-making season it has been for them.
They're hard to get to, they're even harder to win, and they are heartbreaking to lose. It's Melbourne City who prevail, and they win the 2026 Grand Final 3-1 against the Wellington Phoenix. It is a record-equaling 5th championship. They move top of the honour roll alongside Sydney FC. Last time when they lifted the trophy, it was 2 days before COVID lockdowns descended on the world. They played at an empty Amy Park with a goal that was scrappy and forgettable from Steph Catley. Today, they have produced their absolute best in the biggest moments. 3 goals of the highest quality. And Bev Priestman and Wellington Phoenix, well, they know that they got close and they perhaps got an insight today in what it will take to make the next step. And Melbourne City, the players who've been on this journey, the players who've come through this club, they will enjoy this one, and they are the champions. Let's go down to the aftermath. Narlene Masto, take it away.
Thanks so much, Tay. I'm joined by Letitia McKenna, one of the goal scorers today. Letitia, Melbourne City Premiers, champions, you've done the double. Just how sweet is this moment?
Oh, it's so special. I can't believe it, but I can believe it. This group's worked so hard, and to finally get it done is just amazing.
You scored one of the goals of the season, top left corner. Tell me, have you been practicing that all day in training, or did that just come to you in the moment?
No, I think it just came to me in the moment. Obviously, Holly scored a banger at the other end, so I thought, oh, why not? I'll just have a crack here.
For you personally, what a few months it's been. You scored on your Matildas debut. You have now ended Melbourne City's 6-year wait for a championship. How proud are you of your development and your growth within this team?
Yeah, it's been a wild few months, and I'm so privileged and grateful for it, but honestly, it's just the group of girls, the coaching staff, friends, family, everyone that supported me, so without them it wouldn't have happened.
It's a very short turnaround. You've got the Women's Champions League semi-final next week. You're flying off tomorrow. How do you now keep that momentum going, because a treble is on the line for Melbourne City?
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll all be together tonight on the plane tomorrow morning, but I think we can take a lot of confidence heading into Asia, so I think that's a big positive for us.
Go enjoy this moment with your teammates. Huge congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Take it away, Tara.
Yeah, thanks so much, Narlene. I am joined by Rebecca Stotty. Oh, how good. You're a championship winner. Again, a 5th championship, and what a way to do it.
Thank you so much. It was unbelievable tonight. I think we nailed the game plan, and that's what happened.
You talk about nailing a game plan, but what about the highlights reel? Thank you.
Unbelievable. I mean, you can just see the talent on this pitch. So proud of our girls, and to pull that out tonight on grand final night is so special.
What about for you? And I know at the end of it, you've got to hug teammates that you face in the football ferns, but it is a 5th championship for you. You've gone back-to-back. You're the Claire Polkinghorne medalist. I mean, does it get any better?
No, I don't think so. Well, actually, winning the Asian Champions League, that would top it off. But I'm so proud, so happy for this team. We've worked hard so long, and yeah, I just can't be happier.
What about the job you did at the back as well, Capitan, with your vice-captain there, Taylor Otter? A great job you did on Michaela Woods to nullify their attack.
Yeah, we had a good plan to just drop and not let anything in behind us, and I think we nailed that tonight. But credit to Michael and the team and how they prepared us for this game the whole season. I think we're in a really good place.
Please tell me that Michael Matriciani is going to give you an opportunity to celebrate this win. I know that you're on a plane at early doors tomorrow morning for the ACL Elite.
Yeah, we'll celebrate it tonight, go over family and friends, and then head to the hotel airport.
That sounds fun. The hotel airport. Go and enjoy it, Stoney. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's over to you, Narlene.
Thanks so much, Tara. I am joined by Aideen Keane, one of the Melbourne City stars. Aideen, Melbourne City have done the double. The 6-year wait is over for the championship. Just how satisfying is this moment?
Oh, it's honestly amazing. You know, it's just surreal. Like, it's to have all the work that we've put in across the whole season, come out on the field today, and it's just, it's amazing.
It helps when you got a player like Holly McNamara, doesn't it? Like, that was an incredible brace from her. You were involved in that first goal. When you put that pass in through for her, did you know what was coming next?
Yeah, 100%. I told her turn, leaving her at the top of the box like that unmarked is incredibly dangerous. So, yeah, as soon as I saw there was no one on her, I'm giving her the ball there.
Now, this is your first season at Melbourne City, but it's been years of heartbreak for this team. What do you think has really clicked this season where you've got over the final hurdle?
I think just the absolute togetherness of everybody, and just the way that we're able to not only implement our game plan, but change when things aren't exactly how it seems on the pitch. Everybody knows everybody's job, and we can change things at the drop of the hat. So yeah, everybody is just incredibly hardworking, intelligent, and it's an amazing group of footballers. And I think we deserved what we got, and I'm so proud of everybody.
Aideen, you've been immense all season. Go enjoy this moment before you have to fly off to South Korea.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Over to you, Tara.
Thanks, Nalene. I'm joined by Mackenzie Barry, the captain of the Wellington Phoenix. It's hard for me to do this interview with you because we have followed the journey of your side across the entire season. The fairy tale that was the Wellington Phoenix, that must be so hard to sum up how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, it's really disappointing, but I mean, our season was amazing. I'm really proud of everyone. It's just a shame that it had to end like that, but I think the second half we really stepped it up, and I think, we just came out a bit flat in the first half, and Melbourne City are a great side, and they punished us for that. And I'm just going to say thank you so much to our fans, because even though we've lost now and Melbourne City are celebrating, all I can hear is the yellow fever behind me. So sorry we couldn't get it done for everyone at home and everyone that came out to support us back there, but thank you so much, and it was a tough game.
You have won over a new legion of fans. You've been up against it this season, so many injuries and things that you had to overcome, and every time something was thrown at you as a team, you adapted. There's so many things to be proud of, and that silver lining, of course, yes, the fans, but also what you've seen, the clarity, the strength of the players in this side as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've been led by a great leader, Bev. She's amazing. We've got so many staff behind the scenes you guys don't see or anything. I mean, we can't have that resilience without the support, and so many injuries, so many setbacks, and we've made it to the grand final. So we're really proud of ourselves.
History making moment for you to be here. Hopefully we'll see you right here at the grand final, same time next season. Mackenzie, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We've loved watching the Wellington Phoenix. Thank you so much for your time. All right, that is it. We are off to a short break. It's time for the trophy presentation on the side, and we'll also hear from the player of the match. But Melbourne City are your champions. We'll see you soon. City are your champions. There they are celebrating with their fans. 3-1, an emphatic result in the end here tonight at Amy Park against the Wellington Phoenix, who made their way into their very first grand final. What a legacy it is from Melbourne City. It is their 5th championship. They've gone back-to-back in terms of winning the premiership, and now they just chase glory in Asia. Leah Blaney and Elise Callon Knight. What a result in the night, but they were given a little bit of a touch-up in the second half from the Wellington Phoenix, but they held them out.
Oh, Phoenix definitely came out and regained a little bit of the momentum, but absolutely a deserved win for Melbourne City, and you can see what it means to this playing group out there, Tara.
I mean, well deserved today. City taking the double. We haven't seen it in a while in this league, to be honest, so it's really, they're putting their stamp on what they've been able to achieve this season, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do on Wednesday.
You want to copy-paste, don't you, KK? Especially when it comes to the goals. They were top-notch goals, and just goals for the highlights reel, weren't they, Leah? When you look at what they did out here tonight, Holly McNamara and Letitia McKenna.
Oh, I think both world-class finishes. They were excellent.
They indeed were, weren't they? What about this legacy, this Melbourne City side? Because they have been knocking on the door but haven't been in the grand final and won it since 2020.
Yeah, and this is what we quizzed Michael on in the pre-game, essentially. What is the difference between this premiership and championship? They've been so consistent through the seasons, last 3 seasons in particular, being able to come up with this premiership, but there's been no championship. But today they turned up and showed that they can win grand finals.
And what I really liked about this City group is they showed another route to goal. They shot from distance, and they just added another layer of game plan to what already is a good structure.
We saw with the Wellington Phoenix the changes that they had to make in the second half, and it did have instant impact. But would you say, with your coaching hat on, Leah, that Michael Matriciani won that battle today?
Oh, I think he absolutely did. They were on the front foot the entire game. They controlled it as well as came away with the result.
Look at this, Michael. He is so happy. I haven't seen him smile this much, because every goal that was scored, Elise Callon Knight, he wasn't looking too happy in the technical area, but he has a lot to celebrate. But the job isn't yet done, though, is it, for Melbourne City?
It absolutely is not. It continues. 2 out of 3 done. I mean, all of Australia should be cheering for this team going into this week. Got a massive game against Belize, a Japanese side who, I mean, I've played in Japan and I know how good the Japanese are. We all watch the Asian Cup. We know how good Japan is. I've got the old assistant coach standing right next to me here in Leah. She knows how good Japan is, so looking forward to that clash.
I know we've wrapped up their attack. Holly McNamara was in scintillating form, saved the best to the grand final. Letitia McKenna, Riley Henry was deep in the mix as well, but the defence of this Melbourne City side in that second half stood the test.
Taylor Otto was exceptional. Her ability to read play and break up transitions and threats towards the goal is outstanding, and she's such an asset to this City squad as well as the A-League.
So how do you think they're going to go? They're on a plane tomorrow morning. Apparently they're going to be celebrating at the airport hotel, which sounds a little bit grim, but they've got another job to do because they do chase the historic treble. Can they get it done?
I mean, I had to have a giggle when Stoddy said, yeah, we'll be celebrating at the airport hotel, but it's reality. They're going to be on a plane come 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's a big challenge. I mean, I don't know who designs these schedules in football. It's a world problem here, but there's not many days rest and they've got to go again.
Yeah, look, definitely not ideal, and they're top professionals, so I'm sure they'll do everything in their power to be well recovered and ready for what is a very strong Japanese side.
Yeah, strong Japanese side. They know the task that is at hand, but it was such an emphatic first half performance. Melbourne City are your champions. So let's get to the trophy presentation now with Narlene Masto.
What a remarkable Ninja A-League Grand Final we have witnessed here today between Melbourne City and Wellington Phoenix. To start our post-match presentation, please join me in welcoming to the stage our official party. Managing Director at Australia, New Zealand and Oceania Shark Ninja, A.B. Shukla. APL Chair Stephen Conroy, Melbourne City Chief Executive Officer Brad Rouse, and Wellington Phoenix legend Lily Orfield. The Australian Professional Leagues would also like to take this opportunity to thank our naming rights partner of the A-League Women, Shark Ninja, along with our other partners who've been supporting women's football, Isuzu Ute, eToro, Liberty, Mitre and IHG. And our broadcast partners, Network 10, Paramount Plus and Sky Sport New Zealand. I now invite today's match officials to come to the stage to collect their medals and congratulate them for their hard work, not just today, but all season long. Your referee, Isabella Mosson, Lucy Hungerford, Claire Green, Caitlin Williams, Paula O'Landy, Casey Rybelt, Lara Lee, and Maddie Allen. I would also like to congratulate today's referee, Isabella Mosson, who has also been named the Ninja A-League Referee of the Year for season 2025-26. I would now like to invite Melbourne City CEO Brad Rouse to present the medal to the player of the grand final. This year's winner of the player of the grand final is Holly McNamara. Congratulations to Holly. Now, unfortunately, there can only be one champion. Our commiserations go to Wellington Phoenix for their valiant efforts today and congratulate them on what has been a historic season, not just in the A-Leagues, but for football in New Zealand. I would now like to invite the Wellington Phoenix to come forward to collect their runners-up medals. Mackenzie Barry, Victoria Essen, Tiana Jaber, Ellie Walker, Grace Charley, Macy Fraser, Mania Elliott, Lucia Leon, Daisy Brazendale, Marissa Vandermeer, Lara Wall, Amy Feinberg, Brooke Nunn, Pia Vlock, Zoe Benson, Mackenzie Anthony, Michaela Woods, Emma Peinenberg, and Wellington Phoenix head coach Bev Priestman. Ladies and gentlemen, please once again join me in congratulating our runners-up for tonight, Wellington Phoenix. It's time now to present the Ninja A-League 2026 champions, Melbourne City, with their championship medals. Please welcome the players from Melbourne City to the stage. Ellie Wilson, Danielle Turner, Taylor Otto, Letitia McKenna, Daniela Butcherus, Alexia Apostolakis, Holly McNamara, Devin Jackson, Shelby McMahon, Laura Hughes, Carly Rossbacken, Leah Davidson, Caitlin Carrick, Aideen Keane, Riley Henry, Melissa Barbieri, Melina Mires, and Melbourne City head coach Michael Matriciani. And finally, I invite the captain of Melbourne City, Rebecca Stott, who will now say a few words.
Firstly, I want to acknowledge the Wellington Phoenix. You guys have been amazing this whole season. Bev, all the staff, all the players, congratulations on your incredible season. The history you have created this year in New Zealand and Australia deserves enormous respect. You should all be so proud. On behalf of our team, I'd like to thank His Highness Sheikh Mansour, our Chairman, Khaldun Al Mubarak, Vice Chairman Simon Pearce, our CEO Brad Rouse, for all your continued support for this club and this team. To our principal partner, Etihad Airways, thank you for standing with us year after year. The same goes for all our sponsors, our valued player sponsors. We appreciate everything you do. To our coaches, our staff, everyone behind the scenes at City, thank you for the hard work you put in every day to help this team succeed. Michael, the staff, the tactical masterclass today was unbelievable. To our fans, thank you. Your support all season, whether at Casey Fields, here at Amy, even in Asia, on the road, it means everything to us. To my teammates, I'm so proud of this group. To win the premiership was special, but now to complete the double together is something we'll never forget. This team has shown resilience, belief, and togetherness all this season. But we know the job's not done yet. Tomorrow we head to South Korea with a chance to chase something historic, a treble. We'll enjoy this tonight, recover tomorrow, and do everything we can to finish the season the right way. Let's go, City! Finally did it.
Thank you, Rebecca. We do wish Melbourne City the best of luck in the AFC Women's Champions League. Congratulations to the Ninja A-League 2026 champions, Melbourne City.
Champions. A huge congratulations to Melbourne City, a record equalling 5th championship they lived here tonight at Amy Park. 3-1 winners against the Wellington Phoenix, but the job is not done yet. We're off to a short break. Do not go anywhere. More reaction live from Amy Park. We'll hear from Holly McNamara and both coaches. We're not done yet. We'll see you very soon. Ninja A-League champions for 2026. Melbourne City, look at that. An incredible moment from this side. They lifted the premiership this season and they went on to do it against the Wellington Phoenix here tonight at AAMI Park. 3-1. They turned up, they had an incredible game plan and they stifled the midfield, they stifled their attack and it just was executed to perfection here this evening at AAMI Park. They're record breakers and they are record makers. A record equaling 5th championship for Melbourne City as I welcome back in Leah Blaney, Elise Keller-Knight and Grace Gill. I love that. I love those streamers. I think we'll probably end up with streamers on us at some stage tonight, but what a clash in the end, Grace. They really well and truly came out here with a plan.
We are the champions, my friend!
Melissa Barbieri. Melissa Barbieri.
We are fighting!
Yep. All right, let's get to the Harvey Norman highlights now. As the Melbourne side celebrate behind us. These are the best moments of the game. 3 extraordinary goals from Melbourne City.
And what a performance it was by Holly McNamara and Melbourne City tonight. They came out with a tactical plan and executed to perfection. Holly McNamara, a player who hasn't been scoring freely in recent weeks, turned up on the biggest of big stages and it counted and made it matter, Leah.
Oh, a huge occasion. It just shows the quality of this player and the levels she can go to.
It was match defining, like her doing what she did in the 40th minute, in just that 2 minutes actually defined the game. Because if this game went in at a 0 result at half-time, I think we would have had a different result, but she was the match difference today.
Yeah, and some really good individual moments. And sometimes big games come down to individual brilliance. You might not outplay your team, but tactically, City were excellent today. And in terms of individual brilliance, McKenna, McNamara were game changers.
I don't think you want to be giving McKenna any sort of space on the top of the box like this. She's just had a little look, had a few seconds to line it up, and with that amount of time, you know where it's going.
Leah, it was a complete performance from Melbourne City today.
Oh, it was excellent. We've touched on it. Tactically, they got it right. They enjoyed themselves out there. You saw at the end in the celebrations what it means to this City group. They're connected on and off the pitch, and it goes a long way come finals.
The substitutions made such a difference for Wellington Phoenix, but it was too little too late, Gigi.
Spot on, Taz. I was about to say exactly that. It was a better team in the second half for Wellington, but too little too late. And when City have a 2-goal buffer at the half-time break, that is an almighty difficult hill